and beyond overdue for a book haul. Yeah, I was completely bad. Completely bad. And this is not counting the books that I have pre-ordered and that have yet to come in. Yeah, that was bad. But it was a course of over a couple months and a lot yesterday. So, with that, let's get into the books. Again, from thrift books and Second and Shaw, we have this little stack of Nancy Drews and a surprising find of Dana Girls, which I did not know existed at all, and I did not realize that I even had until I watched another YouTuber talk about the Dana Girls. Wow. The Secret at the Gatehouse, the Dana Girls mystery. We are following two girls, Louise and Jean, as they are at a kind of a boarding house for girls. And this is kind of a grown-up kind of Nancy Drew, because they're put in more life and death situations and more enemies. Whereas Nancy Drew didn't seem to have that many enemies unless you count the criminals that she caught. The girls are currently trying to solve Mr. Richard's dilemma, and I have not gotten into this to know very much other than that. So, it has been years since I read a Nancy Drew book, so to know and remember everything is impossible for me. We have the Hidden Staircase, the Low Mystery. I love these old covers. These are just very unique and very expensive depending on where you get them. Avery Charm. We're in the old attic. We're at the old clock, which I do love this cover too. It was originally from a library, as you can tell. I'm just glad just to save old books, basically. That count for this stack of books is 6. If only y'all could see the books behind me in front of me. There, I went to another bookstore called Mortar and Pestle, and we got some bookmarks and stuff. And I thought I'd pick up this particular book, The Texas Quiltmaker at Possum Walk, which is very around the area in which I grew up with, so I thought definitely continue with the knowledge of branching out and knowing more about where I had come from or the area I had come from. very much in line with that, just up the road from where I lived, I thought I would pick up The Legend of the Ghost Wolves to learn more about Galveston and stuff like that. This is I don't want to say middle grade, it's more like a children's book, but I was more interested in the Ghost Wolf and then the anything, because I believe these are actually coyotes, or what would their DNA have mainly coyotes, but they're descendants from the ghost wolf, and you can, well, not the ghost wolf, but descendants from the wolves, and their DNA had the ghost wolf of the extinct wolf in them. So I just kind of want to read that. And I went to some antique stores with one of my friends, and my limit was $100. So I came in under $100, but I ended up spending $103 on a tire, thanks to my tire becoming basically a flat. So I spent $80 on books, and then had to fix the tire. So that was no fun whatsoever, because that was an unexpected expense. Not to mention that after that, I was not feeling that great. So, yeah. So we went to 2 antique stores, and I technically got 10 books, but I got one for my husband, which I'm not going to show in this video, I'm sorry. But it's well, maybe I will. It's that Piers Anthony's book, and I don't know anything about those books. So, with the Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys and Dana Girls, in no necessarily order, I picked up the Tower Treasure, and I remember having this. I don't know what happened to it. What y'all doing behind me? No, we don't do that. Please. Anyway, we got the Treasure Tower book 1. We got the Missing Chum, the newer copy. I really prefer the older copies. I swear they are playing. It doesn't look like it, but this is how they play, and then they fight. They have a love-hate relationship, Gigi and Shadow. Anyway, The Secret of the Cave, book 7. And I did have another Hardy Boys book, and I put it up because it was $30. The girl went on the budget. Doing with Nancy Drew, we have the Sign of the Twisted Candles, book 9. The Whispering Statues, book 14. The Phantom of the Pine Hills, book 42. And the Crooked Banisher, and this is a little bit rougher condition, but it is okay. Book 48. And the Double Jinx Mystery, book 50. Now, for the record, my friend was also looking for Nancy Drew, so I let her have her pick, because she's the one that suggested we go to the antique shop, and I am a new collector because the books I had, they belong to my sister-in-law, and I had to give them back to her. And I just started collecting them, and then I lost my collection, because I only had maybe 2-3 books. So, originally, after I gave my sister-in-law back her books. And this was unexpected. I was trying to actually I told my friend that I was gonna look for Dana girls. So she stepped off into another location and I stepped off into one location, and I came upon the Mysterious Fireplace book 10. And then this consists of maybe 2 Barnes & Noble trips. My husband wanted to go to it's the one that suggested we go, so here we go. And this is also one little Amazon thing in there, which I'll tell y'all later, or maybe 2. So we got the Daisy Chain Flower Shop, the current situation as far as the Daisy is fed up being unlucky in love, and since Mayor Kelly has declared her flower shop a curse because the people who have ordered flowers from her end up getting a divorce later on. And then Elliot is adjusting from a small town life, and his own relationship is in turmoil. In sandals, I should say. So I ordered this and did not remember. And then my husband ordered it. So I ended up having 2 copies and having to send one back. And yeah. I wanted Finlay Donovan. I still haven't read the other one. I can't remember what it was under. Finlay Donovan's nanny and partner in crime, Vero, is extracted from Virginia to Maryland, now facing criminal charges she swears she didn't commit. And has a ankle bracelet and awaiting her trial. Vero is forced to live with an overbearing mother and nosy aunt. Threatening messages keep arriving to her mother's door, demanding Vero turn over the money. So I'm thinking this is from previous, I think it was the novella, where Vero, she changes her name and how she meets Finlay. So this is her past catching up to her when she's not the one that did take the money at all. The Murder by the Book. Addie left her painful memories behind in a big city, including her unsolved murder of her fiancé and her father's fatal car accident. After unexpected inheritance from her great aunt, she moved into a small New England town founded by her ancestors back in the colonial times. The Greyhorn Manor overlooking the harbor. So I have read this before, and my husband did pick it out again, but the problem is we read it on Kindle Unlimited, and I don't remember what exactly happened, and I think we're gonna continue with the series and reread this, definitely. I wanted to expand my manga collection, so far I'm just doing like Spy Family. I really wanted to get into Shagamago Today's, which is a Netflix series. I only have 1 through 4 so far, and I don't think this is the actual volume 1 because I've seen it with a different cover, so I think this is just the holidays one, which obviously says holidays, and we're following him on his holidays with his daughter, etc., and so on. And then we have volume 2, volume 3, and volume 4. So this is basically a ex-spy who had a hit on him because I don't think he was supposed to leave the spy unit, and the other spies are coming after him. And he owns a little ramen shop, or not ramen shop, although you see them eat ramen on the show. It's the grocery store, I should say. Yeah. Raj, did I say you could get in there? Where are you going? Alright. Thinking about this one for Summerween. Gary Clark and the Ghost Rider. and the Taylor family is shattered in a single night when two teenage siblings are found dead in their own home. The only sibling, surviving one, Vincent, never shakes the whispers and accusation that he was the one who killed them. Decades later, the legend only grows, and his career as a horror writer skyrockets. So, and Olivia spent her entire profession hiding the fact that she's the only child of Vincent Taylor. Ooh. Now she's on the brink of financial ruin, and she's offered to ghostwrite her father's last book. That what she doesn't know is that the project is not another one of his lies, because it's not another horror novel he wants her to write. He finally wants to talk about that night. Ooh, that's gonna be good. Yeah, can't wait to pick this up for Summerween. We've seen this everywhere, and by everywhere I mean the really cool cover with these things on it, and I was kind of interested in it. So apparently this is a cozy fantasy. Agnes is organized life the way she likes it. In that way, she's a manager of a cat rescue charity and has devoted her life into finding forever home for the strays. Now her shelter needs a new home, and the only landlord who will rent to a space cat rescue is the mysterious Havelock, who so happens to be the world's famous magician running an illegal magic shop out of his basement. A while since I picked up anything by Sophie Hannah. I didn't notice that there was anything out by her. The last death of the year was the new Hercule Poirot novel. And let's see how. New Year's Eve, 1932, Hercule Poirot and the Inspector Edward Catchpole arrived in the tiny Greek island of Lambos, celebrating the holiday that turns out to be a rather odd community of locals. A dark sense of foreboding shadows and beautiful island getaway when the guests New Year's game after dinner. Oh, there's threats and the last and first death of the year. So this might be another Summerween thing I read. Yeah. While I was leaving the bookstore, I was in the checkout line. I saw this, which is the Before the Coffee Gets Cold novels. Before I Knew I Love You. So the premise is you have to drink the coffee before it gets cold, otherwise you get stuck in a particular timeline, and there's only one shop where you can do that as. So you can go back in time and sometimes go forward in time to see your loved ones that you have some questions for, or do you just want to see them one last time. So yes, we will be reading this. I don't know when, but we will. So I believe this is 28 books, and this is, once again, not counting the ones that are supposed to be coming next month. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.